Greetings. So yesterday was a exercise in success, but it could have been an exercise in disaster. I'm extremely excited about getting through yesterday, managing the day, not minute by minute, but literally second by second, uh, using the tools that I've been able to embrace and the change that I've been able to encompass through literature, through guidance from therapists, suggestions from others, and a lot of reflection and introspection, as well as the belief in my God, um, to go forward. And it all came in very harmoniously. And some of the things that transpired yesterday were absolutely amazing. Big smile on my face. I still would run into individuals yesterday that would tell me these heartbreaking stories of where they were and what happened and what they were doing during 9/11. And I always stop and I always listen. And it would normally pull me right back into where I was. But this time I did not own their sorrow and turn it in and let it bolster my own. And I was very excited about that prospect. Um, and I had a wonderful time. It wasn't minute by minute, it was second by second. And managing all that, it was exhausting mentally, emotionally. And I came home and I passed out. It was great. Got some really good rest um, without my sleep aids. No nightmares. I was super excited about that. Um, the thing about the darkness, though, it knows you better than you know yourself. So it's going to find you when you are weak. I have found out now that running toward that thing, if you, person around my age, you remember the Never Ending Story, and they were running from and afraid of the nothing, which was just this gigantic, inky black darkness. And I think I believe it took the form of a gigantic wolf. I have to go back and look at the story again. But I've learned to turn and run toward the nothing. I've learned to take everything that I know and deal with it. And it will break me. It'll break me down to my very soul. It'll strip me down to the fetal position. But as long as I'm still alive, there's a chance. And with the chance, that's all I need. Because with that, I can do something, which is more than staying in the fetal position for myself. And it wasn't like that all along. This has been years of trial and error. I have enough humility to realize I'm grateful for this opportunity, grateful for the chance to try again, grateful to be here, grateful to have this luxury of communicating out into the world um, my trauma. That being said, I would like to get to some levity, back to basic training. So you wrap up the FTX course, but they have one more big surprise for you. There is another confidence course that is much rougher because now you're calorie deprived, you're sleep starved, and you're just plain old tired because you've done so much over this whole week of training. um, uh, toward the end of the road. So we're out there, and the TIs pulled me aside, and they're like, "This is your station." And I'm like, "Ma'am," and she said, "This is your station. Yeah, if your airmen aren't getting through here motivated and quickly, you're going to be just running the station on the loop over and over again." And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." She's like, "Motivate these kids." "Yes, ma'am." You don't question. I'm like, "Wait a minute, I don't have to do this." And my station was a low crawl station, and it was a prone low crawl station. So it wasn't a bear crawl. It's literally you on your stomach with your weapon, um, uh, in helmet, having to crawl under barbed wire, and it was going really well. But again, that night before, it had rained, and it is this black soil that has now gathered up all type of moisture. So you're low crawling through. You're pulling yourself by the nubs of your elbow and in your kneecaps, or digging in, and then you're using finally as a propulsion your feet to dig in the turf, or to dig in the mud and push yourself forward. And it's a very long, arduous process. And then the next one, you have to shimmy on your back. You have to flip over and you shimmy on your back. To same process, gun here, and you're shimmying on your back. So it was pretty entertaining, because you don't normally do that. And the guys are going through fine. I motivate my flight, yelling, screaming at them. They're doing really good. Then my sister flight comes up, and the first girl to go through happened to turn her head sideways. As she did, she was too close to the person in front of her. This guy's boot dug in and pushed a mountain of that black soil directly into her face. And I was like, oh no, that can't be good. And there was nothing that anybody could do about it. The guy didn't know he was doing it. The girl just had to take it, because you can't jump up, because you're gonna get a back full of barbed wire. So she just had to take it. And I was like, oh, go Air Force. It was so bad, and I was cracking up laughing. I could not stop laughing to save my life, but I couldn't do it on the outside. So I'm just straight childlike giggling. We got out of there, we wrapped up that whole evolution, and went back to the barracks, take a shower, eat like a madman. And it was like a Sunday, we wrap it up. And you're just spent. Well, it was one of the guys' birthdays. And they're like, Chief, we want to have a birthday party for this kid. Like, what does that mean? We're in basic training. We can't go to Publix and get a cake and candles, and there's no DJ or nothing like. I don't understand. We can't intermingle with people or nothing like that. So like, I don't know what you're talking about. And this kid is like, one character is like, Chief, just trust me. And I'm like, you know what, man? We're at a point. We're tired. We've been through so much. We'll go for it. So they got this kid in the middle of the study hall, which was this big area. We pushed all the chairs back, set one chair in the middle. We lined the outsides of it. Now I'm curious, and he's sitting there with his back to the door, and the one kid comes in. He was a clown. He had taken his he put on his PT gear and made it look like a little mini skirt, then put an extra t-shirt on to make him look like he had hair, then rolled up his top to make it look like a tube top and stuffed it with socks. It came in and gave him a lap dance while everybody was clapping to a beat and then swirling our flashlights around. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. So like little things like that, little esprit de corps things like that of boosting the group, and we didn't get in trouble. So I love that. We had and then the next thing you know, we're practicing for the parade to go in front of the base general for graduation. And we have our dress blues on, and this is it. We're confident. We're really feeling like we're almost done, but now we're losing our military bearing. And it's one of the funniest damn things I saw the whole time. There was helping us practice march was two TIs that we didn't know, giant dude and the little guy. And I'm like, okay, cool. The giant guy was about my size. And then the little guy was maybe 5'2", 5'4". And they looked amazing in their dress blues, very fit. Everything is just so, and then all their medals and their rank here, they look great. And then they had this big rim, Smokey and the Bear, like a highway patrol hat, but it was blue, unlike our little Waffle House hats. So this guy, one of the kids was wearing his hat wrong. One of the airmen was wearing his hat wrong. And it was all down and over to the side, and it was completely wrong. So they're chewing this kid out, and the two of them, and they're like, hey, what if we did that, huh? What if I took his hat and wore it? So the little guy takes the bigger dude's hat off and then puts it on his head. The hat comes down to here, so all you can see is his mouth moving. You can't see his eyes anymore, and it looks like a cartoon character, but he's yelling, screaming, cursing, and when I saw it, they're trying to get you to lose your bearing, because if you do, they can fool around and recycle you on the spot. They don't know us. We don't know them. We don't know how ruthless they are. So you have to keep everything tight. You have to be very tight around these people. But we were dying, like everybody just started cracking up laughing. It was one of the fun, I don't blame, we got yelled at, but we didn't get in trouble because that was over the top. It was so unexpected it was like and they knew what the hell they were doing. Because they're gonna mess with you too. They know what the hell they're doing. So I love that. And next time I'll get back with you about about graduation, walking, getting base liberty, going to downtown. Lackland was in where? Not Houston. Where was the river walk? I'll remember where it was, but going off to my first duty station. Take care. And as always, be the reason somebody smiles today.